Hi, I'm Paul Ford.
And I am Rich Ciotti.
And this is the Aboard Podcast. It's the podcast about how AI is changing the world of software and maybe more generally about the world of software all in, like what's going on over there in software world. And today, Rich, I woke up this morning and I saw a skeet, I think they're called, on Blue Sky.
Skeet.
Yeah, it's rough over there. But anyway, Katie Drummond, who's the editor of Wired, was like, we went all in on politics this issue. And Steven Levy, truly great tech journalist, like kind of the
legend,
just has covered the industry for, I guess, 40 plus years now.
Yep.
And real Silicon Valley sort of like anchor just went, what is with all the fascism? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And so it's a really good article and it's a good subject.
What's the title of it?
The title, thank you for asking, is Tech Went All In. Now what? So let's
unpack that.
I like that. We're on a podcast. That's what you do on a podcast.
Let's unpack it.
You know what? First we have to unpack that theme song. So why don't we do that? Okay, last night I got home because my piano teacher was playing a recital.
Way to come out like a ball of fire, Paul. Tell me about your piano teacher.
He's great. He did a good job, and he's incredibly good, and he has a very smooth trio. And then on Tuesday,
jazz.
Like real avant-garde, a little Argentinian. On Tuesday, I'm going to go in. And I'm going to play Air on a G String by Bach really, really slowly, like a 9-year-old.
All right.
So I don't know how he gets through the day, but I was thinking about it. He's been teaching probably for like 25 years.
Okay.
He's taught 30,000 lessons. Like if you just do the math, like 1,500.
I mean, he's making a living teaching.
No, a pretty good one. Like he's really like he's pretty booked. I was lucky to get in.
Yeah. And on top of that, he gets to do what he loves. He gets to go out and play shows.
30,000 lessons. So when you're in there, you're just like, okay, I am only 1/30,000th of like today. No matter how bad I suck,
yeah,
it's really not that big a deal.
It's not.
It's just not.
It's not.
So anyway, so that was nice. And I came home, and my friend Pete was like literally on our porch with his dogs.
It's called trespassing, but go on.
It's fine. He has permission, and he goes. And he sat down and he was immediately like, man, the podcast doesn't have enough banner. It's missing
banter?
It's too much marketing. So I want to start marketing our product right now. And I want to just shout out to Pete and tell him that, just turn this off in the shower and just relax because we're going to talk about a board for 1 minute. And then we will talk about the gradual overtaking of the tech industry by pseudo-fascist forces.
Whoa.
Yeah. So marketing first, though, right?
All right. Let's market.
Richard, what is a board?
A board is a software generation platform. You get to talk to a prompt. It asks you a bunch of really, really smart questions. Less technical, more substantive, more sort of what's the product you need, and then it generates software.
It's that most mysterious thing. It's the product manager who can code.
It's different. It's not vibe coding. It's a tool that ships good, credible first cuts of software for companies, businesses, organizations, nonprofits, anyone you like. We've got a really aggressive roadmap, but you can go play with you can get a taste. You can get a sampling. Remember, you used to get free samples of shampoo in little what look like ketchup packets.
Oh yeah, don't mix them up.
You can get little squeezy packets of shampoo. They look like ketchup packets.
Yeah,
but they're shampoo.
But delicious.
Don't eat it.
No, I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat those ketchup that shampoo packet.
You can go try a board at aboard.com today. Subscribe, and we'll keep in touch on updates. We're going to be pretty aggressive.
Is it a product or a service?
It's both.
It's a shampoo and a dessert topping.
Both.
Yeah.
We still want to talk to you about what needs to get done. We got to, integrate. Like, software's messy inside of companies, and so part of it is talking to you.
What we're doing is we're riding the wave of what AI makes possible. We're a little ahead of the curve, but instead of pretending that humans don't have to come back into the mix,
we put them in the mix.
We make sure that there are humans nearby if they need to be in the mix to get you your software. Our goal is to get you your thing. That's what we're about. That's who we are.
Let Pete back in.
Okay, Rich. I'm going to summarize this article in a minute. You ready?
1 minute?
Yeah. Okay. Marketing is done. Time for the substance.
Go.
Steven Levy has been reporting on, and really a deep analyst and thinker about the tech industry, especially the growth of the Silicon Valley tech industry, for decades and decades.
He is a legend in tech journalism.
Extremely influential to me. And I read his first book by him in college.
Yep.
He has rightly identified the culture as, very capitalist, very like, let's make a lot of money.
Free markets, libertarian.
But let's move culture forward. Let's move people forward. Let's empower humans. That's the tech industry.
Yep.
And over the last couple of years, he's watched, especially like adjacent to Donald Trump, as the industry has taken, I don't want to throwing out the word fascist is actually fuzzy with these people, but like a hard Trumpist turn away from issues around diversity or personal empowerment and so on, and into like a hard capitalist, don't regulate us, we know what's best for you, kind of ultra conservative move.
Yeah, the progressivism streak that usually existed and sort of was part of the narrative at Silicon Valley has really receded. Mm-hmm. And it's much more of an anti-government, anti-regulation, anti-whatever.
To be clear, and I think he underplays this a little bit in the article, respectfully, like that libertarian anti-regulation vibe has been there from the absolute beginning. Like many of the people who,
absolutely, your
Peter Thiels and your Curtis Yarvins and all, these are Valley staples. So they weren't the mainstream, but now you've got Elon Musk, but even put him aside, you've got Tim Cook bending the knee, and you've got Jensen Huang bending the knee, and you've got sort of this, Mark Zuckerberg saying, I don't really care anymore, and everybody needs to man up, and I'm going to do MMA. And so you just have this sort of weird, hyper-masculine Trumpist thing happening to the big, soft, fuzzy industry at the very highest level, while everybody else kind of remains a centrist Democrat. And he's just like, whoa. And his rough thesis is that the drama of 2020, when these people just kind of got yelled at, they became they stood in for capitalism. Their employees sort of turned on them. They were told that they just weren't doing enough around culture, radicalized them a little bit. And then, and they're kind of in the wilderness, and Trump was like, let's do a deal. And he makes you feel good. If you're on his side, he makes you feel good. And then they kind of went all in.
Yeah. That's right. And so he's looking at what happened to my Silicon Valley that I saw as this place that, yes, created enormous wealth and value, but also was progressive and had the right values, the right sentiment behind
the idea was that you would most of that value would go out to the users of the product. You would just take your part.
Yeah.
But that they would do their work, and you were the enabler of so much.
Correct.
To me, I think that there's two things missing here, and I kind of want to throw it back to you because I know you have a lot of thoughts. One is that hard libertarian streak has been there from the beginning, and it's sort
of two things missing from his article.
Yeah. So that's one, and then two, I actually think that the culture around crypto set this turn up. Like,
sure.
And there's a reason that Trump and crypto are strongly aligned, right? And I actually think so I think you just had like two hyper-libertarian, you have this long-term Peter Thiel style hyper-libertarian, we should run the world, capitalism is the greatest good. And
anti-government, anti-regulation.
That's right. And like, shut up about DEI, Western culture is the best, and so on. So very validating if you're a white guy who's getting yelled at.
Yeah.
And then I think on the other side, you had this culture around crypto where it's like, we should make our own markets, we should have our own stock market, we know best. And I think you get those two, and then you get Trump going like, let's do a deal. And I think they just went, the hell with it. I guess that's the way it's going. And you know what? This is more fun. I'm gonna buy another yacht.
Yeah, I don't think it's material. I don't think it's materialistic. The motivation, 'cause materialism is done, right, for the wealthy.
It objectively can't be. They can have anything.
They can have
want.
the yacht, the second yacht, or whatever, right?
Unless the goal is to be the richest person in the world.
Yeah,
there's nothing left for them to achieve.
All right, Paul, I want to bake you a cake.
What kind of cake?
It's a gold foiled stuffed gold cake.
You know, I've been cutting back lately, but I had a layer cake at a diner the other day, and I was like, "Is it fresh?"
Oh, never asked that question.
No, I did, because the guy he was an honest fellow.
Yeah,
He was like, "It's very fresh."
Yeah.
Poof, man, just a trip.
Well,
to
you
paradise.
should try. You cut open this bundt cake, and gold oozes out of the center.
That sounds incredibly harmful.
And it's terrible too.
Yeah.
But here we are. Here are the ingredients to bake this cake, Paul.
Oh, so you have a thesis as to how we got here.
I think it's a collection of things.
Okay.
The first, let's get the basics out of the way, which is these companies have become big enough to defend their turf as dominant players. Like they are, we can argue whether they are actually monopolies in an antitrust sense, but they're huge. And they're scared of being broken up.
Can I make an observation about that too?
Yeah.
Like I have a little thing I say a lot, which is like ethics don't scale. But the reality is when you get to that size, you are such a nation state that anything that people think you are doing is the most evil thing you could possibly do, you're also doing the other thing. Like, hey,
they're massive.
No, so you're like, oh, you guys are just exploiting everybody by owning too much of the advertising market. Well, we're also incentivizing a commons where people are creating content.
There's a marketplace,
and
or whatever, yeah.
And 12 billion people are using us every day to do these 5 things. So you can tell yourself a story, and you have a set of myths and understanding as a nation state company that may not be in alignment with the myths that people have anywhere else.
Correct.
But it's very self-fulfilling. So it doesn't feel like a monopoly to you.
Correct. And just a quick highlight on this, Adobe made a move to acquire Figma a few years ago. And the government, and this is under the Biden administration, stopped it as anti-competitive.
And they were also like, this product makes no sense. There's too much interface, and you guys have to. If they could just have stripped Figma down, I bet they could have gotten it through.
You look at Silicon Valley, and the idea of an acquisition not happening.
Oh
that hurts.
Yeah.
That really hurts. Right, from VCs to investors to the founders, it like struck at the principle. So there is. They
should have spun off FigJam.
Oh,
okay, keep going.
So, you companies like Google, which were under scrutiny during the Biden administration, like there's just a lot going on. And so these companies had reached like scale and size where they were dominant. And so they were starting to get nervous. So that's ingredient 1 for this delicious bundt cake.
Okay, what is ingredient 1?
You're reaching scale where the fear of getting broken up as a monopoly.
You're monopolish.
You're monopolish.
Okay.
I mean, it's real and they're dominant. So they want to defend the status quo.
Okay, number 2.
Number 2 is on a more individual, personal level. This one's, let me just lay it out. As we closed out 2020, and the pandemic hits.
You and I were running a company at that time.
You and I were running a company at the time. Social issues were like at fever pitch. The platforms were amplifying only the loudest, most sort of extreme positions.
Everybody's home.
And people like Mark Andreessen, who, to be clear, looks like a villain. Like if you told me to draw a villain, he would look like that.
He's sort of the most LLM, like mid-journey created human possible. Yeah.
And it had gotten to a point where these people who were either investors or founders or executives were really, really in a position where they were in a constant state of judgment, of vilification. And I'm not trying to defend, because I think some of these people are not great. But it got to a point where you couldn't make a joke in a hallway. Like it really had gotten to that point. And we experienced that on an obviously much smaller scale.
Yeah.
And for these people who were like, you know what, no matter what good deed I do, even if I talk about a donation to a foundation, I have been pegged as this successful white male billionaire. And
sure.
and a lot of the ills of the world, there was a dotted line drawn to them. And maybe some are legit, I'm not saying that. That's not the point. The point was they woke up one day and they were like, enough.
I'm going to get a bigger yacht.
Enough. I've just had enough. No. They're not going to get a bigger yacht. They're going to take the mic back. They're like, I got to be able to joke. I got to be able to compliment someone's shoes. I got to be able to like not feel like I have to never open my mouth ever again. I have made 1,000 millionaires, a few billionaires, and I can't talk. Like, it got to that point. And I'm trying to get inside the psychology of what was going on here. I'm not trying to sympathize. Right?
That's okay. I mean, like, if people feel that this is you saying Mark Andreessen should be president, then they should listen to a different podcast.
I'm not saying that.
We're just like this. Go with us for a minute, friends.
Can I be a psychologist for a split second, too?
I would love to see you be a psychologist.
These are nerds.
Yeah.
These are nerds. And when you tell, like, nerds who succeeded are still nerds, and they're still actually pretty insecure. Like, Zuckerberg is still freaking awkward today.
Well, you got to think about it. Zuckerberg, it's just like so much money so soon. And actually, go back to your psychologist point. Like, who's going to help him process that? Nobody. There's nobody who has his experience. So basically, the only message he has is whatever you want to be, whether it's a new version of Julius Caesar or the world's greatest philanthropist, go do it because it's up to you.
It's corny. It lands real corny. He was like, masculinity needs to come back. I'm like, is The Rock on the podcast or is that Zuckerberg?
Remember when he was
just corny,
he
right?
was smoking meat. Remember that? It's just rough.
It's rough, right? And again, this is an ingredient. This is not the reason. It's not like, oh, they're getting their revenge. It is a component. I do think that it framed a lot of the psychology around it.
Well, there is a thing when you decide that you can't win. Yeah. You're just like, well, then I'll just play a different game.
Yes.
Right. And so
yes.
There was a point where they just couldn't satisfy anybody. And when I talk about anybody is looking at them and going and making jokes about guillotines all day long. And they went, and they see that because they're online. And they went, all right, well, there's no place for me here.
I think it landed as anti-libertarian. It was anti-free expression, free open discourse. Like, I'd landed as like, how did we end up here? This is like not, where's the freedom, free flow of discussion and ideas?
Yeah.
And so that's number 2. Number 3, and this is just, I hate to say it, it's basic business, like 101.
Okay.
A CEO, if you zoom into the job description of Tim Cook, it's that he's got to keep the company stable, growing, improve margins, get more profits. And so when he goes to the Oval Office...
and ultimately the market will reward everybody, and that's what they want, right?
Yeah,
like, it's just like the whole thing is built on the number going up. And if something starts to threaten the number, like Trump saying, hey, I'm going to do 25% tariffs on iPhones.
He's got to go. He's got to get on a plane and go. Now, mind you...
Now, that is the actual job, but it might not be morally where he sits.
Well, it gets worse than that. It actually doesn't work with a very transactional person. But you do what you got to do. And like, was he sobbing quietly in the bathroom in the West Wing? Maybe.
It is a rough one to see that you might have hundreds of millions of dollars, and yet you still end up just kind of crawling.
There's a board.
I don't love it, man.
There's stockholders. His job. He is not a politician. And I think that's where, like, the lens through all of this starts to get
Why can't
murky.
anyone ever just stand up and say, I mean, this is why I don't have real power. Because ultimately, I do think there's a moment where I personally, and a lot of my past would point to this, just go, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, just, it's up to you guys. But the reality is then the next person to come in, here's what Tim Cook is thinking. I really would really prefer not to do this. I would really like
That's
to
an
not.
interesting Tim Cook imitation.
Yeah, I would love to never do this right now. But I have to, because the person who would come after me would just have to do the same thing.
The NVIDIA dude who, like, I was like, oh, cool nerd with, like, motorcycle jacket.
No, crawling like a worm on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, all of them. And look, here's the thing. They have a job and a responsibility, and they have a fiduciary duty.
And they are right that if they peace out, the market will punish them for piecing out, and then the next person to show up will just have to crawl. So they're like, I guess I have to go. I'll get the broken glass in my kneecaps.
Ingredient 3, unfortunately, has no space for, like, moral judgment. It is the job of an executive. It just does. It really does. I mean,
well, this is how they're getting us, right? Because they're basically, Trump knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that better than anybody.
Of
and
course.
he's like, I can make you dance like a puppet because your shareholders will punish you. Now, he assumes it's just greed, but also they know that if they aren't the one, somebody else, like, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's just, this is a big game that has horrible real world consequences.
And keep in mind, and Levy points this out in the article, Trump's a deal guy. He's not a politician. He's not someone that is carrying sort of civic values and bringing them forward. He's a deal guy. He's very familiar to the business side of things, right?
On a in a kind of mobbed up way. Like he's not he's not like an ethical deal guy.
Oh, look, it's not where like reneging on a deal
not a problem.
Not a problem, right? And they're all seeing that now, right? Like there's other issues that are coming up around immigration and H-1Bs and all this. It's a lot of headaches around this, but you're doing the best you can with what you got, right? And when you put on the CEO hat, that's your job.
Sure.
That's your job.
Okay, so what was that? That was 3?
That was 3. Okay. To recap, monopoly. These companies are huge. They're protecting status quo. They want to be left alone. They want the SEC and any regulatory oversight to stay away.
2, their feelings got real hurt.
Enough is, he says it. I think he literally says their feelings got hurt.
And
enough
so like
enough
is enough. I'm out of here. You guys can
Peace out.
Go have your DEI. I'm gonna go learn more about jiu-jitsu.
Correct.
Okay.
Number 3 is CEO's gonna CEO.
The function of the corporation is to grow.
The function of the corporation.
And to return value to its shareholders. And that's the real job. So I got to do it even if it means kissing Trump's yellow toenails.
Yeah. I'm going to toss the 4th one to you.
Okay.
In the Silicon Valley family is this weird skater dude called crypto.
Yeah.
Right? And the framing of crypto, the money at stake with crypto, I think the arguments that were made about alternative markets and alternative control and control away from government seeped into the rest of Silicon Valley. And I don't know if we're here without the crypto narrative.
There's no way we'd be here. So, I mean, crypto to me was really, really attractive to Silicon Valley because I'm going to take us on a 1-minute detour. It's not a detour. People think that the function of VC is to create really amazing products.
Yeah.
But that's one of the functions. The thing that excites like Andreessen Horowitz, right? They went all in on crypto as far as you can go, is creating a market. Yeah. You have buyers and sellers and you sit in the middle. And in fact, they even created their own stock market out there. I haven't even checked in on it in a while, but they were going to make their own New York Stock Exchange, but it was the Silicon Valley. I don't even know.
That's not Coinbase? I don't know.
No. They're like a classic market too.
Oh, like a NASDAQ.
Yeah, because they're just like, it's annoying. There is this element where Silicon Valley hates New York City because we have all the money. We have tall buildings. I would argue that many
better restaurants.
And we're just better looking, frankly, not necessarily in this room. No, I'm sorry. I'm I know a California 10 is supposed to be a California 10, but the New York 10 is like also runs a large not-for-profit. Like it's
also the world. Right?
Yeah.
Shows
just like
up in New York City.
We are the coolest, most diverse, best place on earth. And everybody keeps trying to ruin it. And everybody says it's over. And I'm on year 30 and I'm like, I'm sorry, friends. I'm really sorry. Like I like it out there, or I used to. Yeah. But so we drive them bananas.
Yeah.
They want to own and control the market. Mm-hmm. And the East Coast in general, you got DC regulating you and New York City just like Goldman saying, oh, we'll take you public, but I need a little extra.
A little something
for me. Yeah. And so it's like, why can't I keep all that value? And then blockchain comes along. It's decentralized. It's got this strong libertarian vibe. And it spins up $1 trillion. Just spins it up. Out of cryptography, nothing could feel better. It finally is the justification for all of your hard work as a VC.
Everything. It's everything. It's the end of banks.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the end of fiat currency. It's the end of government control around foreign exchange. And
you've sat in a room talking about your thesis for 25 years, making sure only to fund young white Stanford dudes, and finally somebody noticed and said, "You're great. Let's give you a whole economy."
Yeah,
it's been waiting.
Yeah,
and so it shows up, and it creates this ideology of total affirmation around this set of ideas.
Yeah,
and it creates a transactionalism exceptionalism, and it's if you go read Peter Thiel's 0 to 1 book, it's like one of the chilliest books. It's like reading horror fiction, because it's supposed to be how to scale up a startup, but it actually just kind of occasionally he'll just drop these lines that'll be like, well, and if you look at this quadrant, China descends into cannibalism, and then he just sort of goes on to the next thing, and that's just how he sees the world.
Yeah,
he doesn't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah,
all those dark Enlightenment people don't. So suddenly they had the whole package, the whole thing. Yeah. And then Biden shows up and starts regulating it, and
aggressively.
No one's excited about crypto, and nobody. And so
by the way, it's worth pointing out, and Levy smartly includes it, is the Bankman-Fried meltdown.
Yeah.
Like that made everyone pause and sit up straight, like, oh wow, it's a bunch of fraudsters. And so it colored a lot of the posture. It sort of set the posture in that administration. And so it was existential.
He was a huge Democrat donor, right? So they got embarrassed.
Even in its worst days, many, many billions were in the crypto markets. And the Biden administration was essentially saying, this is all nonsense.
That's right.
Wind it all down.
That's right. You made, right? What did you do? You guys made like 5,000 Enrons.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And so that was existential.
No, but it actually contrasts these two things. So you have one cultural thing happening where everybody is like, you are what's wrong with the world.
Yeah.
You have too much money. You have too much power. You represent bad things.
Yep.
And you're not moving fast enough to change the culture that you're in. Now, granted, a lot of things that people wanted were actually government and sort of regulatory level. Yeah. But they attacked the companies because the companies could actually react. And
they could, and look.
But then at the same time, you have this other emerging ideology where if you just believe we can spin up money out of nowhere and literally go to an island and create the society we want.
But it wasn't an idea. It was already worth billions.
Yes, that's right.
And so it was about to get deleted, right? Or the threat of it was going to get deleted. And so hundreds of millions was poured into the Trump campaign. Be like, all right, look, there's a lesser of two evils vibe to all of it. Like I talk to friends who are, tilt right of center and whatnot, and they're anti-regulation, they're free market and whatnot. And I think they signed up saying, well, look, it's not great, but it's better than the other option.
Well, and also but the Biden administration was really, really bad at communicating. And so the Trump, the sort of all the bananas people in exile were just able to kind of pour poison into the human ear.
Yeah.
For like 4 straight years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So let's recap, Paul.
Okay. So I think that first of all.
Wait, no, I don't want to end the podcast, Paul.
Oh.
There's more. We got to taste the cake.
Okay.
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 Monopoly, enough is enough. CEO, got to be CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Crypto shows up. Existential threat. We mix it up.
Okay.
Put a little allspice in there and some saffron.
Uh-huh.
That's weird to add that in.
I wouldn't put paprika in a bundt cake.
Comes out of the oven, and it tastes bad. And it tastes bad to a lot of the people who cook the cake right now.
It does. But it doesn't taste bad to one person. One person is like just sitting there with a spoon, just eating it.
The so much of what made American innovation in Silicon Valley what it is, which is this incredible explosion of value creation, right? Designed in California, built in China.
Yeah.
Right? But we keep all the money, right? And you got all the laborers making the phones, right? The premise for that getting created is entirely under threat.
It really is. All of the
entirely under threat.
They were worried that regulation would ruin the innovation engine, but what's going to ruin it is corruption.
Beyond corruption, even policies. You got to keep in mind you're dealing with a transactional person who's thinking about the base, and the base wants no immigrants coming in. Whether you're a line cook or whether you're a PhD in moral science.
You cannot imagine a tech industry without a liberal immigration policy, especially around H-1Bs and stuff. It doesn't exist.
You can run down the list, and what you see, and he quotes Bradley Tusk, who's just this hard-nosed operative, who helps Uber and FanDuel. This is a very serious guy, and he's like, everything that made us what we are is under threat today. And so the cake not only doesn't taste good, but it's sitting real weird in the belly right now. right? And so that is what we are contending with today. And so we can make the moral case, but I am actually a free market capitalist guy. I think that you should have ethics and morals. So a lot of stuff upsets me these days, but I want to see this system work because I've benefited from it.
I don't really ever want to know anybody else's political beliefs under a well-regulated, clean market society with good incentives and punishments, right? Like that's where I would like to get to, but boy, we're nowhere near that right now.
Well, I think
you can literally go to the White House with a golden loaf and they will not put 25% tariffs on your product.
And the truth is that is not grounded in a value system that creates value and creates growth, and
it's incredibly anti-value.
It's transactional.
Yes.
It's transactional. And I think when you reduce it to the transactional, you lose your way. And I think that's what we're in the middle of right now.
We are currently losing our way.
Yes.
What do you think now? What's going to happen?
Levy talks about this as well. He's like, how do we get out of this? Or maybe we don't. It's kind of how
I am noticing the maybe we don't is getting more common out there. Yeah.
I think look, if you're a realist, eventually these are all warning signs today, but when it starts to actually break things, I'm not going to assume that they're going to wake up on the right side of the bed morally or ethically.
Well, I think the market will tank, and that's the only way.
I think there are certain things that are going to break.
Yeah.
There are certain things that are going to be under pressure, and then I think it snaps. And I think that could happen I'm not talking about like Andreessen waking up one day. I'm talking about jobs being lost in a district where it leans one way and going the other way because of these outcomes.
I think the only way you get Americans, unfortunately, we have a lot of narratives about civic virtue. I buy into a lot of them, but unfortunately, the only way you seem to really get Americans to pay attention is when they go to their like Betterment account or their like the ADP retirement.
Applebee's
graph.
Friday nights are over for the family for a while.
You know, actually, what's interesting? Hamburger helper sales are up.
Do not go there.
No, it's a tell.
Are you putting that in the cake too?
Yes. No, literally, that's what people are doing because they're like meat's more expensive.
It's a lot. It's very expensive.
And so, especially,
you ever have hamburger helper?
I have, yeah, sure.
It's delicious.
It is. I mean, you're adding carbs and
it's pasta and ground beef
and salt. You just get
some cream.
American knows that when things are bad, you just got to get more salt.
This was a very thoughtful intellectual discussion that ends with hamburger helper.
Well, didn't it? What is the logo? Is that little hand?
It was a hand.
Yeah.
What'd the hand do?
I think it actually is in a relationship with the
spatula.
No, it's the guy from the Little Muffins. Who's the Little Muffin guy?
The Pillsbury Doughboy?
Yeah, that guy in the hand. Like that's nobody talks about it.
All right, we're gonna run this through an AI video generator and see what it comes up with.
Oh no, we're not.
I'm an optimist, Paul. I think better days are ahead, and I find that we do tend to reset ourselves. I love this country.
I know you do.
I was not born here. It gave me every opportunity, and I'm going to have faith in its ability to ride through it and get to a better place.
I don't talk about it a lot because I have a lot of very progressive friends, and the default has always been to hate America. And, read Howard Zinn and hit yourself in the head with it. But I do love America. My father served in Korea. My brother was in the military.
I love this country.
I've advised vets orgs. Okay, I know it's tricky and complicated, but
it gets tested. It gets tested every so often.
Yeah, but the problem is it's just a huge piece of shit. Like it's just like if it wasn't.
You just said you loved it a minute ago.
No, not America.
Oh,
with the test.
Oh, the test sucks.
Like we just got.
The test sucks.
They just gave a guy $50,000 in a kava bag, and he's the guy who builds the jails for the kids. Like
it's very bad.
It ain't good right now, man.
It's very bad.
But I'm gonna. Here's what I will say. These self-corrective systems still exist.
Yes.
They are weakened, but they do still exist. Hopefully,
look at you wading into politics on our AI podcast.
I don't think there's any, that's all at this point. An AI podcast is a politics podcast, whether we want it to be or not.
We didn't talk about AI in the context of all this, which is beyond this podcast, but it is worth talking about at some point.
Well, it is one of the giant bubble things fueling a lot.
It's one of the nuggets of gold that people are going to fight over, right?
That's right. And what they're
trying to control.
They're also just trying not to slow it down. They want to keep going real bad.
He mentions that.
Yeah.
Right. There's an anti-reg streak through all of it.
All of it because it's, Mom, get out of my room.
Yeah.
So here we are, and I'm glad you're optimistic. It is nice to have an optimistic business partner.
Oh, thanks.
And you do
sounds like you're not.
Well, you've noticed it's a good balance because every now and then you're like, okay, you kind of did say this 6 months ago, and here we are now.
Man, I'm Lebanese. I've seen some things.
You really have.
All right.
I gotta say, I have faith in the country's. Here's what I actually believe. I have a lot of faith in our ability to pull this out and to figure it out. I do think there's a lot of smarts here and there's a lot of capability. I'm really worried about us. I just hope to God we can do it without violence. We just tend to go to violence as a society, and most societies do.
Yeah.
And everybody assumes that like the Republicans have the most guns. I don't think it looks like that. I get nervous about that.
It's messy.
And I'm raising my kids.
People are hot and it's messy. And I hope take care of each other. Talk to each other.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the advice.
Just respect your neighbor, and off we go. But all right, let's go. Let's return to our liberal bubble of New York goodness with our soon-to-be socialist mayor, and we'll have a good time.
Have a wonderful week, everyone. On this very special edition of the Aboard podcast.
Go read the article. Go. The whole Wired issue
great.
is about politics. It rules. Okay, bye.
Have a good week.